Hi, friends. Welcome to Enlightened World Network. Dr. Ruth Anderson here for a meditation a day. Today we have a very special guest, Dr. Jane Mountrose. She's going to be doing something magical and mystical for her meditation today. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Ruth. It's a pleasure. And I always enjoy, well, this kind of thing. I've always been into miracles and magic and all those kind of, I guess you'd say, frilly things for some. But I thought about this meditation in relation to talking to someone recently about being in the moment. And I think that the idea of focusing on being in the moment is something that many of us, and most maybe of us who are interested in this kind of thing, that we strive for. And yet, in a lot of cases, what I see with people is that they think it's like something hard, kind of like, I'm going to be in the moment. It's like, how am I going to do this? That it seems maybe like it's difficult, or that it isn't there. In our minds, it's not something that is magical and mystical and miraculous. And I use those words because I love them myself. So while I'm doing the meditation, if like peaceful and relaxing and whatever maybe 3 words or 2 or 3 words appeal to a person, you can kind of substitute those words too. One thing that actually is valuable with words like magical and miraculous is that they're energizing. And when we bring energy to things, it makes them more powerful for us. It is the energy behind things in terms of us being creators that helps us to actually manifest things. So you can be sitting around like, oh, I'd like this, kind of, and without any energy behind it. And it's not going to have the same impact as those things that you bring aliveness to. And the aliveness, of course, comes from the heart. So, like I said, these are words that appeal to me. So that's where we're going to go.
Thank you, Jane. I love that. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so we'll start. It's interesting. There's a big jet going overhead. Maybe I can just wait until it's gone. It's a little distracting. There's an Air Force base, not real close to here, but they fly jets over our city. And just breathe. Okay, that's better. To begin, we're to be aware that we're going to be drawing on the power of our intention, that it is when we intend for things to occur that they have the potential to occur. And we have to understand that we are creators. So we're going to draw on our intention for these magical, mystical, miraculous moments. So we can start just relaxing and starting to close your eyes gently, focusing in this moment on what you're experiencing now. And the idea is just kind of how you're feeling now, because we want to compare how we're feeling now with how we feel after we do other things and have the opportunity to raise our vibration some. And from there, something that I do for myself often and also with groups starting out is just to take 3 of the most fabulous breaths you can imagine, because we can reach into the angels and invite them to surround us with love and light. We can just ask for the energy of magic and miracles to be around us, and just breathe in that light, whatever the most fabulous light could possibly be for you, like 3 wonderful breaths. And it's interesting, if you focus on the idea of inhaling fully, that's metaphorically embracing life fully. So we take a nice full inhale of that beautiful energy. And a nice full exhale is releasing whatever you don't need in the moment, just letting go. So we're just bringing in that beautiful energy. And as we exhale, letting go. And you might notice that just taking 3 breaths like this brings you more into your body and more into the moment. And it's something that's so simple to do anytime. And in this meditation, it's just the beginning. But it's worth remembering that if you want to create more magical, miraculous, mystical moments, that it's pretty easy to do. And then from here, when I'm going into meditation, the next thing that I like to do is ask any energy that is not your own to leave your space. And again, this is with the power of your intention, asking any energy from other people, other places, other times to go back where it came from. And what this does is creates more room, more space in your field for your own energy. And similarly, asking to bring back any of your own light, any of your own energy that you've left with other people, other times, other places. Just ask to bring it back to you now, here in this moment. And you might even feel it. I can usually feel energy moving in when I do that. And then imagine filling all the spaces, the extra spaces that you've cleared, with a miraculous, wonderful, mystical, magical light, whatever light is best for you. And when we're asking to bring light into our energy fields and into our body, what we're really wanting to do is bringing it into every cell of the body. So imagine bringing light into every cell of your body. And even going down further, that within the cells, we're wanting the light to go into all the space between the electrons in the atoms in our cells in our body. And you could just say all the free space, because there's much more space than there is matter in us. And we just want to bring as much of that light into those spaces as we can, everywhere in our body and everywhere in our energy field. You might notice that you feel lighter doing that too. And just again, noticing how you feel compared with when you started. And of course, as we bring in more light, it's almost natural to feel like we want to lift ourselves into a higher place. And I know Ruth and I both enjoy that idea of going to a mountaintop, because when we imagine rising, it does, again, lifts our spirits, it lifts our vibration. So what I'd like to do now is imagine rising. Of course, we're going to go to the most magical, mystical, miraculous mountaintop possible, which in my mind is one that is way high up above the mass consciousness thought forms, which really are always dragging at us. So we're going to rise above those to this beautiful, beautiful, mystical mountaintop. The perfect one for you. And you can always ask to go to the perfect place for you. So going to that lofty place and arriving there, notice what you notice there. Maybe you're so high up that you're surrounded by stars. Maybe you can see both the sun and the stars. Maybe the whole earth around you is visible to you from this higher place. And you can view the magnificence of the world around you. It's a place where the air just feels so nurturing and wonderful. Every breath is nurturing. And maybe there's a beautiful little breeze. Again, whatever is perfect for you, because you're creating this. And here we also want to connect with that creator within us more directly, which is right in our heart center, right in our hearts. We are creators because the creator resides in us. And we can open more to that energy by just, again, breathing this time more light and love into the heart. And within the heart, there is a little flame, and in many people, it's just like a pilot light. It's just barely visible. But as we nurture it and bring more love to it and bring more truth, more of our soul's truth to it, it becomes brighter. So we can imagine it becoming brighter now, radiating love and light out from the heart. Again, filling our whole body, all the cells, all the atoms in all the cells in our body with that beautiful love, light. And you can target places, maybe there are places in your body that you don't love so much. You can send love and light to those places as well. Just bringing light into any dark areas, any of those kind of corners that have not been observed or appreciated. And then radiating out all around you. Love and light, magic, miracles, peace, whatever it is that you feel most drawn to in this moment. And here I sense all of the beings of light around us. It's just like they can't be ignored. They're so close. And it is true when we raise our vibration that we are closer to the angelic realms, to the masters, the enlightened masters who are here as our teachers. And just invite their energy to surround you again. If that appeals to you, whatever feels right. I feel personally, I want to acknowledge Metatron, who is such an angel of light to me, and just invite him to surround us with his light. He's considered to be one of the archangels who's closest to our creator. We can just surround ourselves again, allowing his luminous white light from Metatron to surround us and nurture us. And others who are so prominent at these times, like Archangel Michael, more beautiful energy. He surrounds us with strength and power, often experienced as an electric blue energy. And just connecting with him, you might feel that sense of power and strength increasing, knowing also that he protects us. And you can call on Michael anytime for protection. And of course, there are many more. And our creator, him herself, in this mystical, magical, miraculous place, we can ask for a even higher vibration of light to come from the light above us, which is our source. And just imagine that light, the most beautiful, pure white light flowing down over us and blessing us, uplifting us even more, and really bringing us in, you could say, connecting us with ourselves at a higher level, because our soul exists at different levels, at higher levels. So in doing this, you may feel that magic and miracles are even more possible, and that your creative potential is even greater than before. We can do that again, if that feels right to you. Just again, asking for an even higher vibration of light to flow down over you and over all of us who want this. What this is doing is raising us to a frequency that exists in higher dimensions of reality, where really more possibility also exists for us. And in doing that, you might notice also that the field around you expands out, and maybe it expands out to a point where there is no division between you and all that is. You can just feel yourself as part of the oneness of all. And appreciate that. Making this maybe one of the most magical, mystical, miraculous moments ever. This and any time you intend it to be so like this. And of course, in doing this, as I mentioned, we're connecting with our souls at higher levels. And you can ask maybe your higher self, that enlightened being who is your true identity, if that part of you has a message for you now, or a gift for you now, something you can bring back to remember this moment. And whatever you sense, just allow that to be the gift. And notice in this place above the mass consciousness thought forms, how freeing it feels. Like a big weight has been lifted from you, or you have lifted yourself from it. And this is something you can do anytime, just breathing and rising to the perfect place. A mystical mountaintop above the mass consciousness platforms is a very powerful place to be. It might be for you another place like on a cloud or a temple up in the ethers. Whatever it is, we all are capable of creating magical, mystical moments for ourselves. And then bringing that sense of truth, that sense of something bigger in our lives, bringing that back with us into our daily lives, into our experience of moments when we're doing ordinary things. I feel so much love surrounding us. And with that gift, whatever it was, whatever the message was, just bring it back as a memory, and maybe a memory of the feeling and the way this looks around you, being connected with the stars, maybe, whatever it is, when you look at the sky around you here. Because you can just imagine looking at that sky again and come right back. We can recreate states with our intention like this. And with that, we're going to return now to more to our normal waking state and coming, just flowing again back down, having the most mystical, magical, wonderful experience, floating down back into your body where it's resting now. Grounding your feet to the floor, to Mother Earth, who also has so much love for us. I'm breathing in more active energy, returning to your normal waking state. If you feel like stretching, you can. Again, breathing in that brighter light. And noticing how you feel now compared with when we started again. Just noticing the differences and knowing that you can recreate these kinds of experiences. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Thank you, Jane. That was mystical. And thank you. Thank you so much. You said we can recreate those states. What's the easiest way to help yourself get back into that space?
Well, it's different for each of us, I think, because we have different orientations towards our senses, our five senses. Some people are more feeling oriented, feeling how things feel in their bodies. And if that's the case, you could just return to how you felt when you were in that place and just imagine you're there again. Or if it's the sight, something through your eyes, like just imagining the stars around you and the beauty of the world around you, just returning to that. It could be a sound. Some people are more auditory. It could be the song of the soul. We didn't really talk about the song of the soul, but maybe there is a song of the soul that you would hear in that place. And just imagine hearing that now, or the message that you received.
Right. And for those that are more concrete, they can save this meditation to themselves on Facebook. Go back and listen to it again. It's easy to do that on Messenger. Just share this with yourself on Messenger.
Right. And remember how powerful it is. And if it was for you, and I hope it was helpful to you, just remember how powerful a few beautiful breaths of whatever that perfect energy and light is for you. By the way, I forgot to thank Metatron and Michael and all the beings. I just always feel it's so important to express our love and gratitude for them. So I want to do that.
Yes, thank you.
By the way, we were talking about Commander Ashtar before we started, and I saw Commander Ashtar there. I thought maybe that was a joke for you.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
There's light in front of me.
I love that. Jane, talk for a minute, if you would, about the power behind taking 3 of the most fabulous, amazing breaths. It's really very powerful. Can you talk about that?
It's just something I don't know, I guess maybe in a grounded way, except that I know that if we shift our focus from whatever is happening, and sometimes I think of it as being in the moment versus being in a momentum. A lot of times we're just running, and a lot of times on automatic. And if we just remember, like, oh gee, I could take a moment off to breathe, that in itself is powerful. And then breathing, being aware of the breath in your body, it does bring you more into the moment. And I don't know why I settled on 3 breaths. I just it's 3 sounds simple, and it's enough. You could take more than 3 if you want.
But 3 by itself, I experience with you right here, can be very powerful. You
Right.
invite in your guides, invite in the angels, and just slowing down, inviting in your guides, that alone can create a shift in person.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think everything you add to it with your intention can add another element to it. You add your guides, you add your intention for it to be magical or whatever feels right to you, just wanting sparkling. I like sparkles, so a lot of times I'll say just to surround me with the most sparkling, beautiful, mystical light possible. It's just, we're creators. We can create whatever it is that is most supportive and nurturing to us. And we have a kind of a knowing of that too, like what would support me in this moment? And just intend that to be your reality in this moment. And of course, just drawing on the power that we have to create, not seeing ourselves as victims of a busy day, whatever the way I see different frequency around the planet to counteract the mass consciousness, the low kind of more the denser energies. And the brighter we are and the more impact we have.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly right. Jane, could you take a moment, please, share with friends what you and Philip are bringing into the world and how they can.
Well, we've been spiritual teachers and trainers. Coaching and healing are our main topics. Holistic spiritual coaching and healing for decades now, and most recently we've been adding more spiritual guide type things, working more directly with angels and connecting with masters and the Elohim. I've been connecting with the Elohim recently, which is just an amazing experience. And we're preparing to we're creating a program that's going to start at the beginning of the next year on that, which is very exciting for us. And we want to support people who are light workers, spiritual healers, just spiritual enthusiasts, in bringing more of the truth of who we are into our lives, because I think it's like I see the idea of bringing spirit into form as being so important. Like we're to live the light that we are. That's our focus, and we work with people personally and through our programs, and just love doing it. So that's where we are.
Excellent. And they can find you by.
Yeah, I often refer people to a free resource kit we have for light workers, spiritual healers, and way showers, and like I said, spiritual enthusiasts. And I have a tiny URL for it because our website is big and the URLs are long. It's tinyurl.com/spiritual-kit. And like I said, that'll take you to our website. And once you get there, there are all kinds of things to explore. It's a large website. So, yeah.
You all have done a lot over the years, 20, 30 years of doing all this. So
yeah.
Through there.
Yeah. And it's still just as exciting as ever. I mentioned the coaching and healing program that we teach. We're just starting a new course this week, and it's so wonderful to have new people coming, and it's a community too. Awakenings Institute, our institute, is a nonprofit organization, and it is for spiritual people who want to light up their spiritual missions, you could say.
Yeah. Well, I'm so pleased to be part of your network, part of your community of light workers. So thank you. And thank you for being a presence on Enlightened World Network
thank you.
On your show, as well as on the meditations every month. So Jane.
Yeah. And we have the Circle of Love and Light on Enlightened World Network. We have every Sunday. It's 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern time. And that's something everybody's invited. And the idea is we're creating love and light and bringing it out to the world. We have different interesting topics every week, and it's really fun.